500 freestyle. We're taking a look at Sophia Carroll in lane 5 right here. I'm not going to play the whole video straight through and then talk afterwards. I'm just going to kind of talk as it plays, and hopefully we have watched the whole thing by the time I finish talking. So, on this, let's go back. On the start, same thing that you were doing before with the arms not being utilized at all and just throwing them up, but you get into a nice streamlined position. Legs are slightly apart, so get that left leg up there with the right leg. If you create some tension in your legs, like you don't necessarily need to flex them, but just kind of keep them more tense than you would if they're completely relaxed. That'll help kind of keep them together as well. Okay, so real nice smooth breakouts. Don't breathe on the first stroke here for at least the beginning of the race. Taking a look at the splits, you are 102, 108, 109, 110, and then 107 coming home for a time of 5:38. By the 50, you basically have 29:32, then 34 lows, 34 highs, 35 lows, 34 low, 33 low on the last 100 there. So when you're out 102 and then you just jump up to 108, 109, 110, so steadily climbing, and you have some in the tank left there at the end for 107. I wish you had the second 100 you went 32.9. So if you had kind of floated back up to 33 high to 34 low, I could have lived with that, especially at a dual meet. But you got comfortable with the 34s, and then it got a little bit higher, and then you brought it back down for the last 100. So we just got to fight through and establish our own pace. Now that hopefully you're swimming more of the cross-country season being over, you can kind of help identify your pace a little better, and like you're obviously the fastest person in this heat and you pull away there towards the end, but you just need to, in any race, forget about everybody else and you've got to do your own pace. That's a really key part of swimming in general, but specifically to distance, like you got to know your pace and you got to go after it. One of the things that I was trying to tell you while you're swimming, and obviously I understand if you didn't see me because you were swimming a race, but I was trying to tell you to move over. So if you look here, like you ride this lane line the entire race, and this girl could have gone to her right on that lane line and just drafted off you the whole time. You'd pull along the whole race. That's just a little bit of race strategy thing. Doesn't mean you have swam any faster, but if you could have moved to the middle or even to the left once this girl fell far enough behind. But for you to have been this close to her lane line the whole time really doesn't make any sense when she was right there and she could have easily drafted off of you. With the strokes, here we're about, what was this? You're coming up on the 200, and for the most part, your arms are pretty consistent in the strokes, and you're still not breathing off the walls. But you'll notice as the race goes on, your left arm especially gets shorter. Both arms get shorter in general because you're tired, and you're going to breathe off the wall. So I'm just going to kind of fast forward ahead, honestly. Let's see. So right here is that's a 400 mark. So right there, you are breathing off the wall. First stroke. You can see the right arm is doing okay right here at flicking by the hip. And at this point, your left arm has not completely left yet, but it's hanging in by a thread. So here you have a 75 left. Let's take a look at this turn. So you take your last stroke with your right arm, you stroke through, and your right arm, so you take the last stroke with your left arm, your right arm, which is right here, is like you flirted with taking that stroke, like you see like your arm is out of position here, you decided not to, and then it was just kind of like this awkward turn. I don't know how many turns you do in practice a day, a couple hundred for sure. It's got to be something like you know how to time your turn at every type of speed and every type of stroke, so that way we don't have awkward hiccups there with a 7.5 to go in our 500. Come in here, you're going to do the same thing where you breathe off the wall. I remember specifically on this when I watched it. It killed me. But you come home in a 33.4, and that's really, a lot of it's coming from the leg and just a slight increase in the tempo, but you are shortchanging, especially on the left arm here on your stroke. Did you look up at the wall right here? Yeah, so you're looking up towards the wall. Like, obviously you have to look at the counter, but the counter was out and you're still looking up. So you got to keep the head down. Really try to look at the counter through your peripherals, just out of the top of your eyes. Hopefully your goggles are not blocked in a way where you can't do that. Overall, though, this is you just kind of swimming alone. 5:58. I think you're still on track. You've been training well so far. Now cross country's over. Like everything's is going as planned. As we continue to fine tune the stroke and the start and the way we actually pace a 500, we're really in good shape.